The surprising health benefits of mindful eating. Paying attention to the food you eat and enjoying the related moment-to-moment experience can help you manage food cravings, lose weight, and improve your diet. Here are quick ways to begin your mindful eating journey. Welcome back, folks, to another edition of Sweetie Kiwi. I hope you are doing fantastic, and if you're doing as great as I am, go grab a cup of coffee or tea or vodka. Let's roll. Today I want to talk to you about, mindful eating. And what is mindful eating? Let's just define that. Now, mindful eating means that you are maintaining an in-the-moment awareness of the food and drink you put into your body, right? So you're just observing. You're not judging how the food makes you feel and the signals your body sends about taste, satisfaction, and fullness. No, you are just observing. All right. The thing is that mindful eating just entails a simple acknowledgement and acceptance of the feeling, the bodily sensations, the thoughts you observe, right? And you can extend to the process of buying, preparing, and serving your food as well as consuming it. So when we talk about mindful eating, it's also mindful preparation, mindful purchasing, mindful serving, right? I mean, we live in such a busy environment nowadays that it's just very, very hard for us to even take a second to pause and appreciate the food we have in front of us, right? So we just eat mindlessly. We shovel food down regardless of whether we're still hungry or not, right? I mean, we just finished a show about emotional eating, and people just eat for the sake of it. They're trying to feed their emotions as opposed to feeding their belly, their body, right? So people, like I said, emotional eating. People eat to satisfy emotional needs, to cope with unpleasant emotions such as sadness, anxiety, loneliness, boredom. They do this to relieve stress. So mindful eating, in essence, is the opposite of mindless eating, of emotional eating, right? Now, we're not talking here about being perfect. Don't get me wrong. When I'm talking about mindful eating, I'm not talking about being perfect or never allowing yourself to eat on the go again. No, but it's more the frequency. How often do you do that? 8 out of 10. If you're able to take your time to focus all your senses and being present as you shop, cook, serve, and eat your food, it's great already. 80%, that's good, right? Now, the thing is that if you're able to eat mindfully, you will never overeat. And it also makes it easier for you to change your dietary habits for the better, so you can enjoy the improved mental and physical well-being that comes with a healthier diet. Now, let's move on to the benefits of mindful eating. I gave you a few of them, I just gave you a few of them. But the most important thing is that if you're able to eat mindfully, you can slow down and take a break from the hustle of your day. You can eat normally. You can ease stress and anxiety. You can lose weight. You reach satiety faster. You feel fuller sooner, and by eating less food. You are connecting strongly to the food, not only to the food, what's in your plate, but also where the food comes from, how it's produced, the journey it's taken to your plate, right? You eat in a healthier, more balanced way. So, and most important of all, you can derive greater pleasure from the food you eat, right? Because you are learning to slow down and more fully appreciate your meals and snacks. So this is very important. So the thing here is that just paying attention helps, not only in terms of eating better, it also promotes better digestion, right? And influences wiser choices about what you eat in the future. Because think about it, everything you have, every habit you have is the accumulation of every routine you have rather is the accumulation of small habits they have built up over many years, right? So you're able to change those unhealthy habits into good one by engaging in mindful eating. All right. So this is basically it. So, I just explained to you what mindful eating was and the benefits of mindful eating. Now let's go to the next section. Learn how to practice mindful eating. I'll talk about that as soon as I'm back. Right after this. Don't go anywhere. Welcome back, folks, to another edition of Sweetie Q. We're still here having a conversation around mindful eating. And I just want to talk to you about how to practice mindful eating. There are a lot of stuff you can do. You can start by taking a few deep breaths and considering the health value of each different piece of food, right? Because we just eat just for eating. No, you want to be in the activity with total awareness. You want to be here and now. So you want to think about the health value of the food. You want to use all your senses while you're shopping, cooking, serving, and eating your food, right? I'm talking about how the food smells, how the food looks, how you feel as you shop, the sound as the food is being cooked, how it tastes as you eat. This might sound philosophical, but it's real. Those are things that if you implement them, you're going to see a change in your life, right? You want to be curious and make observation about yourself, about the food you're eating, about how it is cooked. The thing is, you have to also ask yourself, are you really hungry? Turn to your hunger. Are you really hungry? Sometimes people eat without being hungry. And it's been proven scientifically that if you're able to wait, there is a hunger hormone called ghrelin, and that's the hormone that is released around each time you usually eat. So if you eat 3 times a day, it will be released around, and it has been proven that if you're able to bypass this for 30 minutes, that hormone goes. So it comes and goes. So if you're able to resist for 30 minutes, it will go away. Now, I'm not asking you to starve or fast anything, no, but I'm just saying that you have to be in tune with how hungry you are, right? So you have to know what your intentions are in eating the specific meal. Now, with the food in front of you, take a moment to appreciate it, right? If you're sharing the meal with people, take the time to appreciate the people. Pay attention to things around, smells, colors, textures, shapes, right? Now, take a bite and notice how it feels in your mouth. You want to go gradually. Think about how wine tasters, how they act. I love them for that. They just have some kind of a natural allure to the whole process. It's just wonderful. So you want to be in that same position, as if you were tasting wine, something exquisite, something nice, something healthy, right? You also want to think about how you feel from moment to moment, right? Every 2 or 3 minutes, or think about that. You want to give gratitude, and you want to reflect on where this food came from, right? You want to think about, you want to give thanks to the plants or animals involved, and all the people that took to transport the food and bring it onto your plate, right? So being very grateful and mindful about the origins of your food can help you make wiser and more sustainable choices in the future. Now, and here is a biggie about mindful eating. Eat slowly. You want to pay attention to your body's signal of fullness. If you're eating alone, try to stay present to the experience of consuming the meal. A lot of times we're not mindful. This is why we keep eating, even though the body says, we're full. Even though we have reached or even bypassed satiety, we're still eating because we're not mindful. All right. So this is what we would definitely want to avoid. I'll be right back right after this. Don't go anywhere. Now, number 4, figure out how to fit mindful eating into your life. You want to fit that routine into your life. Before I continue, if you believe we are delivering quality content so far, and you love the clarity and quality of the content, please subscribe to our channel. I want you to smash that notification bell so that you are informed whenever we drop a new show. We do so every single day, rain or shine. All right. You also want to comment, share, and like this content. A lot of people need to know about mindful eating, because this will lead to sustainable purchasing, sustainable food shopping, and less wasting, less food wasting. Now, you want to figure out how to fit mindful eating into your life. Now, I know you might say it's unrealistic that you can be mindful for every bite or even for every meal you eat. I get that. We have work, we have family, we have stuff going on, opportunities, so we're always busy. But the thing is that, again, I'm not asking you to do it right away. Start little. And as you start trying to understand your emotions as you go through the process, right? Ask yourself whether you are eating food that is nutritionally healthy, or are you just, eating food that is emotionally comforting? I spoke about emotional eating before, right? Are you anxious or bored or lonely while eating? While you're eating, are you eating when you're hungry? Do you have hunger pangs, or you just want to eat for the sake of eating? Right? So understanding all the elements that constitute the triggers for food, the triggers for hunger, can help you fit mindful eating into your life. So to really do this, you have to make the switch from mindless to mindful eating. For example, focus all your attention on your food and the experience of eating. You want to eat only to satisfy physical hunger. In other words, when you reach satiety, you just quit. Even if you still have food on the plate, you can have a leftover. It's okay. You don't have to eat anything. You don't have to eat everything on the plate. I have the wonderful habit of going to a restaurant and asking the waiter respectfully to pack the unfinished food for me. I take it home and I eat it the next day. Especially if I go to a fancy restaurant where I know the food is expensive, and if I like the food, I don't want it to be thrown away, because the restaurant is not gonna, the restaurant staff are not gonna eat it. They're gonna throw it away. So you want to eat also nutritionally healthy meals and snack. Another criterion for mindful eating, you want to eat slowly. Eat slowly. Pace yourself. You want to savor every bite. And as you eat, listen to your body's signal and eat only until you're full. All right. So by doing that, you're able to inject mindful eating into your daily routine, right? And that will allow you not to be on autopilot when you eat, right? So you eat while driving, while working, while watching TV, while reading. So your mind is not there. You're not mindful. You're mindless because your focus is elsewhere, right? It's very important. It's something that you can actually also do. If you have a partner, make sure that you train your partner, or you convince him or her to also embrace the habit, because it will never work if you're the only one who wants to do it. If you want to incorporate mindful eating into your life and your partner doesn't want to hear none of it, it won't work. It will not work. It might work for the first few days, but then, later on you'll have tensions, you'll have disagreements, and all of these things will make you quit. So you want to make sure both of your partners are on board. If you have children, the children don't have to be on this. No, you can train them, but give them their freedom. Once they are adults, they can incorporate this in their life if that's what they want to do. I'll be right back right after this. Don't go anywhere. Welcome back, folks, to another edition of Sweetie Kiwi, and I'm continuing here the conversation around mindful eating. And you can use mindfulness to evaluate your relationship with food, right? You want to basically see if food has a nutritional value for you, or more of an emotional value, right? So because food dramatically affects your well-being, right? I'm talking about mentally, hormonally, physically, emotionally. Right? So food can boost your energy and outlook, or it can drain your resources and make you feel sluggish, dispirited, moody, right? So people talk about the sugar high, right? So if you eat less sugar and processed foods, you'll feel better. If you eat more fruit and vegetables, you feel better. You got to know the rules of healthy eating. You have to know this, and you have to know how it applies to you. Now, ask yourself, how does food make you feel? Right? So you want to track the link between food and feeling. So for specific types of food, how do you feel after eating them? Do you feel good? Do you feel energized or tired? Do you feel alert? Do you feel sluggish? You got to really identify that. You have to pay attention to your feelings, physical and emotional, 5 minutes after you've eaten. All right? You can do it 5 minutes. It can be 1 hour. It can be 2 hours. It can be 3 hours. The idea here is to to start tracking those criteria to see how food affects your mood. One thing you can also do is to experiment with different food combinations. You want to see if the combos, have a separate effect on you, right? So that you are able to see how you can relate or how you can react based on certain specific foods, right? What I mean here is that you have three, try to combine the macros. By macros, I'm talking about carbs, fat, and proteins. All right, so you want to mix them all and see how they affect you. Now, don't get me wrong. When it comes to food and the body, it's not just what you eat. You also have lifestyle and genetics, right? So if you smoke, if you drink, if you engage in some kind of unhealthy activities, if you take drugs, all of those things will affect how the food is interacting hormonally in your body. All right. You can also exercise before eating or after eating, right? So those things will help you sort of figure out how you really stand when it comes to food. Now, one thing I want to pay attention to is that you can, for instance, talking about food combos, you can try eating only starch meals, only that for 1 week. You can try protein meals for 1 week, fruit meals for 1 week, or vegetable meals for 1 week. You want to see, and then you can play with combos. And while you're doing this, keep a record of everything you observe in yourself as you experiment with your eating habits, right? Again, the thing here is that don't try to use your body as a guinea pig. If you have some kind of medical condition, please consult with your healthcare provider before even starting any of those things, right? Because we are providing general info. We're not providing medical advice here. We're providing general info. It's more to enlighten you, to give you information, data bits, so you know what's out there. But if you have a medical condition, please, again, talk to your doctor first. All right. So the thing that I'm trying to say here is that by trying different food combos, you can see how your metabolism fits, how your metabolism feels according to certain foods. Now, when I'm talking about how you feel, it's not just physically, it's not just metabolically. I'm talking also about mentally, emotionally, right? So mental and the emotions are also those two aspects of our bodies is also very critical. All right. I'll be right back right after this. Do not go anywhere. Welcome back, folks, to another edition of Sweetie Kiwi. We're still continuing our conversation about the surprising health benefits of mindful eating. Now, let me talk to you quickly about eating to improve well-being, not to fill a void. This is what I was talking about earlier. You're eating to improve your well-being. You're eating to stay healthy, not to fill an emotional gap. Right? You want to start thinking about that. So if you have loneliness, if you're angry, if you're anxious, if you have some kind of a negative emotion in your body, you got to ask yourself whether the food, and it never does that. It never fills that gap. But you have to know why you're making the decision to eat that food, right? Do you eat to feel better or relieve stress? Do you order pizza if you're bored or lonely? Do you just become a couch potato because you're feeling down and just guzzle up, ounces and ounces of ice cream? It's really up to you. You got to think about what works for you. You got to think about why you are, eating, right? So you have to make sure that you control the underlying emotions that become triggers for mindless eating. Right? Because, 9 times out of 10, you don't feel hunger pangs. You don't feel those. You just feel something going on in your mind. The emotions are very convoluted, and you want to stop that convolution in your mind, that mental convolution. You want to stop it through eating. Right? So this is pretty much it, folks. And I just want to wrap up today's conversation. And, so talking about the health benefits of mindful eating, I covered 6 things. I gave you a definition of mindful eating, the benefits of mindful eating. I told you how to learn how to practice mindful eating, how to figure out how to fit mindful eating into your life. how to use mindfulness to evaluate your relationship with food, and how to eat to improve well-being, not to fill a void. All right? Now, today's pro tip, and we like to give pro tip at the end of every show. The pro tip here is take deep breath before you eat. If you're able to take a deep breath, you are able to relax and relieve stress and tension. And you also want to pause to enjoy your food. Again, you want to take a deep breath and you want to eat, quietly, slowly. Take a pause. And in between, while you're eating, take a pause. Take a pause to see, 1 minute, 2 minutes, and to see if you're, at satiety or if you still need to eat. All right. So thank you for listening to today's show. I really appreciate it. I will see you next time. And until then, stay marvelous.